Have you ever asked the question, I want to lose weight, so what am I going to eat? Well, I'll tell you, after working with women and helping them to lose weight, that is the number one question that I get asked. So I hope you'll stick around because that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode of LiveFREE TV. I'm Emilie Quisenberry, and I am a holistic weight loss coach, and I help women learn how to lose weight, how to begin to heal their relationship with food so they get off the yo-yo diet cycle, so they learn to appreciate their body, and so they learn to live fit, healthy, and strong for good. If you're new here, I hope that you'll consider subscribing. You can simply click on one of the buttons around this video. That way you'll be notified when I put out a new episode. So before we jump into the content today, I want to make sure you know about the freebie this week, and that is the 80/20 food list. Now you may be wondering what that is exactly, but I'm just going to promise you, you're going to want to pick up this freebie because it's really going to help you, especially if you got the freebie from last week. That was the grocery list and meal planning guide. These are going to all go together really, really well to help you begin to know what to eat and how to get it prepared so that you have what you need to be successful. You can pick up the 80/20 food list by clicking on the orange button below this video if you're on my blog, by clicking on the link in the description box on YouTube, and or you can go to emiliequisenberry.com/25. Okay, let's jump in. So I want to lose weight. What am I going to eat? And again, I had a conversation last week with a client, and she wanted me to tell her what to eat. She said, just give me the meal plan and I'll do it. And that's the problem. That's what perpetuates this diet cycle that we get on, the roller coaster. And I want to tell you right up front that there is not a certain food that you do need to be eating, and there's not a certain food that you don't need to be eating. All food is permissible. In 1 Corinthians 6:12, it says, everything is permissible for me. It may not be beneficial. Everything is permissible, but I don't want to be mastered by anything. So what this is telling us is that every single food is going to be permissible. The problem in our culture is that we have demonized food. We have attached a moral value to food. We use words like good and bad, right and wrong, healthy, unhealthy, clean, dirty, diet or non-diet. And you may be able to think of many other labels that we use for food. But the truth of the matter is, none of that is true. And when we do that, and then we tell ourselves, I cannot have that food that's bad or wrong or unhealthy, and then we do, we end up assigning that feeling and value to ourselves as part of who we are. And it's just not true. And then it creates a vicious cycle. I want you to reframe thinking about food, that it's all available to you. It's all going to be part of your diet. And there is actually food that is more nutritious, absolutely. And then there's food that's less nutritious, absolutely. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have it. And it doesn't mean that you should think that there's something wrong or bad about it or about eating it. When we take a food or a food group and we make it off limits, it creates scarcity in our mind about that particular food. And when something is scarce, its value actually goes up, and we want it even more. And so part of the process of learning to heal your relationship with food so that you do lose weight and you stop yo-yo dieting and you do learn to appreciate your body is beginning to learn that all food is permissible. Now, the second part of that verse says that it may not all be beneficial, and then it says, I don't want to be mastered by anything. And so you may be sitting there thinking, Emilie, I'm mastered by sugar. I'm mastered by, carbs. I'm mastered by ice cream or whatever it is. But I'm going to tell you that in my experience, it's actually not the food that you're mastered by. It's your belief around that food. and we believe that it's bad and wrong. Therefore, we restrict it, we deprive ourselves, and when we actually do end up eating it, we eat like we're never going to get it again because we're going to have to restrict it again. And so it creates this vicious cycle. When you learn that you can have the food that you love day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, it loses that power. It loses that like kind of control over us, the belief that it's okay. And that's what we have to work on. It's what we think about it up here. It's not that we're physically addicted to it. We just have a very unhealthy and misguided view of that particular food or food group. So this week's freebie, I did tell you, was the 80-20 food list. Now, what I mean by that is that 80% of what we're eating is going to be nutrient-dense whole foods, lean protein, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats. The other 20% of our diet is going to be fun foods or treats, or the ones we would typically label bad, wrong, unhealthy, dirty, non-diet. Now, that may absolutely freak you out to think about eating those things because you think you're going to go off the rails. But I can tell you that if you will begin to practice this in your life, that you will begin to feel that that those chains that you feel around that loosen. So the 80-20 food list is actually going to it's a template. It's not even an exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination, but it's actually geared to really help you begin to think in terms of 80% whole foods, nutrient-dense foods, foods that have a ton of nutritional value in them, vitamins and minerals and things that you're going to eat that are going to help fuel your body and make your body feel great. And then 20% are the things that you've limited yourself from and restricted yourself from and deprived yourself from. And we're going to begin to put those back into our diet as we lose weight. And I know that may absolutely blow your mind, but I've lost over 25 pounds and I have eaten chocolate, ice cream, had wine, eaten pizza, and I have still continued to lose weight and get fit and healthy and strong and heal my relationship with food and appreciate my body. And I'm going to tell you, it is absolutely possible, and it's what I want for you. So go and pick up the 80-20 food list at emiliequisenberry.com/25. I would love to hear your thoughts or your comments or your questions around this, so don't hesitate to drop them below in the comments on my blog or on YouTube, or feel free to shoot me an email at emiliequisenberry.com. I do hope that you'll begin to work on this idea that all food is permissible and really embrace the idea that there is a place for it in your diet. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be blessed.